Here we go. So for those watching on the replay, welcome. And if there's no one in the streaming room just yet, so it's all good too. Today I am just working on her hand and bracelet. She's got a little bit of top going on down here, so I want to try and get that done. Maybe we'll just get a little bit of definition of where that top's going to be. Just get just a couple of lines to indicate his shirt. So her top's coming in here. And this is an indigo 36, a Derwent, and I'll just drop that in so I can see where everything is supposed to line up. Might have actually been better just... It's okay, David, don't worry about it. Right. So I do have another bracelet. So I made a start on this particular bracelet, and she's got a beaded one. Ooh. So let's just try and get a semblance of that. Going. I'll use the blue because that's going to be the... Use that for a bit of shadow in here too. Let's get a bit of an outline. I don't want it to be too detailed. Oh, hello viewers. Hello Donna. How lovely to see you. I hope you're in a good space today. do we want to do? We want to have... sorry, I'm just trying to find the colour of that. I think it's going to be quite... Oh, what are we going to do? When in doubt, put turquoise down. So, how's your day, Donna? Helen and I have had a mixed day. We went for a walk, and on the way back I saw someone lying on the road, and so they weren't moving, just lying in the gutter. So I ran over to, as fast as big blobby me can run, and poor guy had fallen off his bike, older guy. How does this thing go? I need to do that. He had a really nasty gash on his head. It was just awful. He had landed and his glasses had cut all around his top of his cheekbone. It was really nasty. And I rang the ambulance, and they just didn't want to come. I was like, oh, is he dying? You know, is he vomiting? It's like, he's an old guy. Come and get him. In the end, some very nice people came along and helped us. It's just beautiful to see people doing their thing and helping others. And a lovely lady took him and his wife, their push bikes, back to their home, which wasn't far away. So for Donna, you'll know it's Ratanui. They lived in Ratanui Road, so not too far away. And another lady stopped and helped Helen get him into the car, and they took him down to the medical rooms just down the road, because it happened not too far from where I live. And he just slipped with his bike. It was on a bike track, and he'd come to the main road, and his wheel had slipped, according to a passing driver who stopped to help, and thankfully gave him a bunch of tissues, because there was a nasty pool of blood where he was lying. I really thought he had dropped dead. Helen and I felt a bit traumatised by it all, so we went out for lunch, which was very nice. We went to Infinity, Donna. That was very nice. We had a nice time at Infinity. I made sure I had a coffee to calm my nerves. But it was just lovely to see people stop and help, and other cyclists who went by were all sort of like, oh, are you okay? And I'm like, well, there's blood pouring out of his head, you know. He's not that okay. But yeah, so that was our morning, and it was a bit, still feel a bit, I don't know. And of course, poor guy's just embarrassed, which was, you know, I suppose I would be too. You don't want anyone to make a fuss, but when you're bleeding profusely into the gutter, it's It's not good. But it was lovely to see all the help he got. That needs a bit of yellow. Yeah, yes, they're not first responders. So they did have a trick up their sleeve though, Donna. They got me to, they rang me back and I got the paramedic. And the paramedic gave me a link to a website, and it was a video conferencing thing, and so I got to show them the guy's wounds, and they did go, oh yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I go, yeah, well, you're right. Yes, of course it's not good. That's why I rang 111. Which in our country, for those of you who are overseas, 111 is an emergency. And but I think the ambulances were all tied up. We don't have that many in action. This is what happens when you've got free. I might just turn that one around, it's looking a bit worn. When you've got free medical care like we have in New Zealand, eventually the cost of living outweighs the cost of providing a service, and you can have it free, you just got to wait. And anyway, we got him down to the medical rooms and it was all good. I think he would need some stitches. Anyway, if you're an older person, go biking with friends, don't go alone. I think that was the moral of the story. I'll just get a bit of colour in her arms. Is looking a bit not right to me. But yes, Donna, I probably should have called the fire department, who would have come and patched him up, and they would have been first responders. So I thought maybe I'll do some painting this afternoon, to just painting such a chill thing to do. That'll calm me down. Just got a bit too much red there. Hey Gigi. Yes, it was lovely to see people. It was a lovely lady who stopped, and she could see that it had been a bicycle accident. And this guy and his wife, I mean, I don't know how old they were, but I suspect they were in their 70s. Maybe just late 70s at that too. And this lady pulled over, and she said, "Let me help you with those bikes." And she put the bikes in her van and drove the wife home, and then brought and got the push bikes home, because there's no way they weren't that far from home. A lot of accidents seem to happen close to home. and you know, within 2 kilometres of your home, you're supposed to be at most risk, oddly enough, for an accident. No, I don't want that. Or do I? I do want a little bit of that. And so they were only they were about maybe a 7 or 8 minute ride from home, but a 15 to 20 minute walk. Anyway, it was nice. She got her home, and another lady helped Helen bundle the guy into the car and get him to the medical rooms. It was really, you know, and the lady who stopped, who saw it happen, pulled over. So we walked around the corner, and I saw this thing lying on the road, and you're like, what the heck's that? It takes a while for your brain to process it. Well, it takes my brain a while to process and go, what's going on? And she turned out to be his neighbour, and she didn't even recognise him to begin with, because I guess the shock of seeing something like that happen as well. But she pulled out her first aid kit and got him some something to staunch the blood. Yeah, it was just while we were walking there. But other people would have got him, so it was that, you know, that's quite good. It was just nice to see that, you know, a couple of cars had stopped. Some just drive on, you know, they're busy or whatever. You go. Whatever. Yes, I hope he recovers. He was okay. We did all the sort of cognitive tests. The paramedic got me to check if, you know, is he breathing? Is he nauseous? Is he throwing up? No, he's not throwing up. Probably if I'd got him to throw up, then they would have come and got the ambulance. That's what it felt like. If you're ever in an accident, just do it properly. Otherwise, you know, if you only do it in half measures, they won't come and help you. But anyway, that was our adventure. We actually had a nice walk though. So that was good too. Around a little lake. It's more of a pond. It's a duck pond, or in our case, Canadian geese pond. Rotten little things that they are. Canadian geese get rid of something like 2 or 3 kilos of poop each day. Just unbelievable. They make such a mess. That's nothing on Canada. It's just your geese. We wish they would just stay home sometimes. They're a bit messy. So we'll just build up here. There we go. Suddenly it pops. How are you, Gigi, anyway? Thank you for dropping in and saying hi. Appreciate it. we're getting there with this hand. This isn't so bad. I tried doing so since everyone's come last time, I've done more work on her hair, and I started putting some turquoise tint on her forehead, and it just did not work. So I had to take that off. I still need to lighten her up. Around there though. There we go. But her hair's almost complete now. Almost. What will happen with this painting is I will get to a certain stage where I'll go, oh, I think it's done, and so I'll stop, but it won't be done, and I'll have to come back and do all the little bits of details that, you know, my brain eventually, what happens is my brain says, oh, I think that painting's done, and what it's really saying is, you're bored. I'm bored. Go on to your next painting. And we, you know, art is at times work. You got to stick with it. Don't just give up. If you just give up, you'll have a painting, but you won't really. Oh, well, I suppose some people would be happy with it, with what they've done. Who am I to say what someone else is going to feel? But for me personally, I'm looking to achieve something bigger than myself, so I need to be able to come back to that painting at some stage and go, goodness, David, that was pretty good. And I won't do that when I am doing the painting. I just need to come back to it at another time, because when I do the painting I get so caught up in the shapes and shades, and you don't see it as a whole. So right now I'm thinking about her bracelet and the shapes of which way are her fingers going, and I'm not thinking about the painting as a whole. So sometimes at the end of a stream people go, oh, that's a lovely painting, David, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice thing to say, but I don't really get it, because I'm just been concentrating on a piece, and but when you do come back and look at it as a whole, yeah, you just see it differently, and that's where I want to get to with this piece of work, so that when I come back to it, and once his shirt is in, you know, that will actually be quite quick, hopefully, to do his shirt. I will then, and the reason I haven't done his shirt is because quite often my hand is pressing, or I'm leaning against this part as I work on the body, so otherwise I've got to put on some this stuff. So this here is called glassine, and I'd have to attach it to the painting so that when my hand's resting on it, it doesn't take any pastel off. This is an archival, non-acidic substance. I'm not sure what it's made of actually, but it's not paper. You can get, I'll fold it up now. Some refer to it as parchment paper that you use for baking, but this is a higher quality than that. So this painting's actually quite good because I can just rest my hand and not worry about damaging it. Yes, sorry about the lag. So the reason there's lag between the time you ask something and the time I respond, apart from when I'm waffling and I'm in my own mode, is the quality that I'm trying to stream at. And you can have a lower quality stream and there will be no lag. For us there's always a bit of lag because I keep these as a record of what I've done, and there's it's not a huge number, but a few people come back and watch the replays. I want to give a shout out to Neela in case she's watching the replay. Neela, who has bought me many a coffee. Thank you, Neela. Supports my habit and creativity and is herself trending on a creative platform as well. She's a content writer and come on in leaps and bounds lately actually in her writing. It's amazing. Just try and get in here. Not that her early stuff wasn't good, but just lately the writing's been phenomenal. And I can't pronounce her handle here on LinkedIn because should I ever want to monetize the channel, I'm not allowed to say those words. But it's something like Workman's Hit. I'll let you figure that out yourselves, how she says it, but YouTube's always asking me if I should approve her comments because it doesn't like her business handle. We are a child-friendly show. Yeah, so anyway, that was the lag. Now let me go right back up. Get your next. Thank you for enjoying the art and chat. This was okay. So right now, I want to now ask what you use for painting, and Donna's already asked you. Acrylics. Okay. Oh, I really, yeah, if you've done acrylics and you want to try pan pastels, and you'll be fantastic. I have a pastelist friend, I'm never sure if I'm saying her name right. I say Joanna, but it might be Johanna, and she's a very good pastelist, and she also does other mediums like acrylics, and it's quite lovely. So I think you'll flow because the pan pastel like when you first start pastels and you hold a pastel stick, it's just not like painting at all. But these, with the applicators, you're painting, you're blending, you don't have to worry about dry time, there isn't a mess. The only cleanup I have is cleaning my hands, and normally they're not that dirty. It's only if I put my hands in the pan pastel and pick up pigment. So that was good. Yep. Where else are we? Yep. Donna's very good at colour pencils. Yeah. It's nice when you get to chat with our other artists, and really that's the cool thing, you know. There's I read this thing about it was a quote about the difference between when artists get together and when critics get together, and critics will pull apart a painting, whereas artists, when they're together, will talk about where to get cheap supplies. You go, yeah, that's right. Artists they just want to get on with the job, and sometimes you go, oh, how did you do that? I want to know how you did that. So it's lovely when you get to meet people from around the world and the chat as well. It's quite... I need to get that the same colour. Do that, otherwise her wrist is disjointed. We don't want that. And the good thing too with pan pastels, they're very economical to purchase. And well, it's tempting to get the full collection. Even if you get the full collection, which I wouldn't recommend to start off with, it's cheaper than buying normal pastels, which have a tendency to be bit expensive. And it's very easy to get carried away buying pastels. Because you're always looking for always that one colour that will do that. Whereas pan pastels, you can blend them. You can get different colours from your blending, or just be like how I end up doing my paintings. And close we get to the end, I'm quite happy to just throw in straight colours on the arms. You know, it becomes almost, it's primal or primary, probably a bit of both. Primal, primary, I don't know. But you're making a piece of art, not so you can just do it how you want. I like splashes of colour. My brother-in-law asked me, "What have you got?" It was one that I had. I don't have it floating around. It's a Chinese couple, or Asian. I can't guarantee their point of origin. And he's like, "Why have you got green and blue on the skin?" He just didn't understand it. So that's because it felt like it needed it. I like those colours, so, and together they worked well. Let's leave a bit of grey in her hand as well. I've been wondering about what sort of background normally I do a sort of quite an energetic background with my wedges, so these things I tend to sort of a hatch of a background. Let's blend that in, and I have I'm kind of a bit tempted to leave it grey. I want a bit of maybe a bit of this. Just trying to find the shadow that I want. It'll appear. They always do. Okay. So I'm hoping to get some turquoise in her arm, and that should come out quite good. Let's just get a little bit of blue. Which one? Let's try this one. Where are we? Let me go back. Pastels are much more forgiving than acrylics. Yes. You can always just knock the pastel off the paper if you're unhappy with it. I have a bit of difficulty with that, to be honest, because I go, "Oh, I've paid for that pastel." But that's just my Scottish heritage. I can't help how I was made. It's in my DNA. But they are more forgiving. You can fix your errors a lot quicker if you have error. And the Banksy, yes, I read that today in the I read that in the paper. That'd be quite something to see, Donna, about the Banksy exhibition. But it's in Auckland, isn't it? I think that's where the exhibition is going to be held. So I'm not sure that we'll end up going that far to see it. Let's just test out, see if we can get some vein action going. Maybe a little bit lighter. There's a lot of just trying to find what's going on with her hands. I really need to change this this applicator, which is starting to. There we go. Oh yes. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm just having a moment where I'm slapping down turquoise as I do. Oh, and I just love turquoise. So let me just have a moment while I let me just have a turquoise moment. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic, Donna. We'll go see that. We'll go see that. That's in Wellington. Yeah, that's kind of, I just needed to check, see whether that was going to work for me or not. And we'll just try and get a little bit more these fingers done, and then I'll just do it. Oh, maybe I'm fed up with fingers. I need to get her top done. So there's not a lot of real estate on the picture for her top. But if I just bring up the photo again, the reference photo, so you can see her a little more clearly. So just under her hand, there's a sort of a grey blue top, and that's what I just want to capture. If these pans will behave. We'll just get a little bit of shadow going on here. We want just get some, try and get that twist in here. Okay. Any guesses on what colour I'm doing her top? And when I'm doing clothes, I find I just I'm trying to do the indication of the clothes, and normally everyone's mind just fills in the blanks, so you don't have to get too carried away and go, oh, you know, I've got to get. Just want to get a bit of a fold there. You don't have to worry too much. A bit of blue. That's good. Just mix that in a bit. Sorry if I'm not reading the comments. I'm not avoiding you. I'm just concentrating on blocking this in. And I say blocking in rather than finished product because I will come back and I'm sure, you know, redo these. As I look at the picture more closely and read it. But I just need to get some colour in, and we might just switch to a little, where's that little, there it is. It's a bit dirty. Let's clean that up a bit. Just want to get the hints of your outfit going. Just like that. Okay. It needs to be lighter. Well, we don't know until we do it. We can always lighten up. There we go. Let's try and make that uniform. And just blend it. If I had a way of making, guaranteed way of making cloth folds, that would be great. That'll make more sense later. If you're not sure, don't labour the thing. You can always come back to it. Yeah, I've got to think about the angle, and once I start getting his shirt in, that's going to make more sense. So I may end up changing that to more of a, I may change that to more of a blue than a turquoise, and have his shirt is going to be, he's got a white shirt on, but I don't use white. I often use what's this one called? Ultramarine. I was thinking of French marine, but it's ultramarine. That's what I normally use for white. So I don't want to use that one. I'll use this one. Actually, I need a fresh one. You need a fresh, clean. Have I got any? Let's go into the supply cabinet. It's just, we're going for time. What time did I start? It was 1:45. So just go for another 5 minutes, I think. I don't like really streaming longer than an hour. But let's grab a ultramarine. And see if we can now this is going as a first coat onto a onto pastel mat. And when you first put pastel on pastel mat is extremely grabby. So you're going to do many applications before you fill up that tooth of the paper. And there is a product that can be used to make it go further called colourless blender. I'm not a big fan of colourless blender, but then I also haven't used it that much. It's a white And let's try and get the and somehow it extends the range of your pastel. So if you're really cheap, you can make them last a lot longer. But that, I'm just doing that to show you. This is going to be my white, and because it's a blue, it's going to play nice against the, and that's a cuff, so, well, it's a cuff, it's on his sleeve, isn't it? So it's not a cuff, but there's a blue detailing line sewn above it that I want to capture. But anyway, that's what I use for white. So that's good. We'll keep these two together so I don't get it dirty. I just have one specific one for the white. And I do with the let's use ultramarine for his band. I was going to say something. Oh, I try and keep the applicators separate. So one for reds and yellows and one for blues. And while you can, because what happens is inevitably I will forget to use my paper towel, which I use for cleaning these off. Inevitably I will forget to use it and I'll get a dirty mark. So this is quite dirty to me at the moment. I'm really unhappy with that. I'm trying not to show it on camera, but you can probably see the tears coming down my face. But it's all fixable, so that's nice, eh? And it is in shadow, so I'm okay with the fact that it's in shadow. But I need to work a lot harder at getting those rolls of how the fabric is moving. And so that's going to need, and I want a bit of red actually coming through there to represent her skin, because the way light works, you know, it's bouncing through her garment, and we will be getting a bit of, it won't be red, it'll be a tint, probably something like, ooh, it's almost a, it's not magenta. You know what I'm going to do, and then of course I can always regret it later. But painting is often, I mean, this is why I'm doing the journey online, and I do thank everyone who's taken the time to join me today. I'm discovering stuff as I go, and I'm learning not to have a closed mind about what I see. Something is neither just a solid colour, it's a mixture of different colours as different things reflect light And if I can learn to capture, all that I see, then I'll be a good artist. For now, I'm just an apprentice. All right, well, we'll call it done for today. Done a bit on the hands. Messy top, but that'll start making sense once his shirt starts coming in. I need to finish off her skin. Not too worried about that. I've got to do a bit more on her fingers. So there's still quite a lot to go in the painting. So the journey continues. And thank you, Gigi and Donna. They were lovely comments. I very much enjoyed your comments, both of you, today. It just makes the stream so much nicer to do. And for now, I wish you an excellent rest of the day, and hope to see you again once I find the end button. Goodbye for now. Thank you, Gigi.